Hey, Segovia, back with another one. We're back, y'all. We're back. It feels good to be back. I needed that reset. We got a good hour banger coming up today, y'all. A lot has been going on since I've been gone, and we're going to get into all of that today. Before we get into it, though, y'all, where's the 2,000 likes? It ain't much. I don't think that's asking too much. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's get to 2,000 likes in today's video. Make my day today. But enough with the chit chat. We know why we're here. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The Wallace Line.
The Wallace Line.
So you have Indonesia and you have Australia, right? You have Bali, you have the Philippines, and then there's Australia. There's an invisible line between these islands that for some reason animals cannot cross. Marine biologists have no idea. Biologists have no clue why. There's only like a 20-mile difference. On this side, on the Asian side, you have tigers, elephants, monkeys, all these types of things. But then 20 miles over, you have animals
They're
that
completely different species.
are completely different species. You have marsupials like kangaroos and koalas, and then you have dingoes.
They've never observed those animals crossing over.
Even the fish will not cross over this invisible line within the ocean. Birds will not fly to the other side. It's just a border that animals instinctively just don't cross for some unknown
I
reason.
wonder if it's like a gravitational force or something.
But it'd have to be something we can't measure.
Yeah.
Because you know they're trying to figure that out. They'd find gravity or energy.
And why animals are the only things that don't cross it.
Then he pulled up a scientific, real flat Earth map from 1800. The guy was like, "What is flat Earth map?" He said, "The United Nations logo. They use it. They throwing it in our face. The map that we use is wrong. It's different. They changed it. This is the actual map, and you can look up in encyclopedias. You can go and check one out of the library. It's a map that was. It says like it's proven. It's a map, and it's scientifically proven. It's a fact that these are the maps that they use. It's a flat Earth map, and you have to fly over Alaska to get to LA. So
From Asia?
yeah, but Alaska is right by us. It's not far up. It's by LA. It's not far. It's not more north than what we think. So like we've been lied to. So that is an emergency landing. Then I started looking to other emergency landings, and I started looking to like layovers and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff didn't make sense. Why they would fly all the way up here to change, then like the flat Earth map is totally different. Then once you kind of look into the flat Earth map, and then and when you fly across the world, and you know like the layouts and what it stops and stuff, then it kind of make sense. The flat, and that's what took me over the edge was that the emergency landings thing.
So there are the expenses to kind of help you out. It's called geocentric lines.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, notice how when we look at a map is two-dimensional. The Earth is three-dimensional. So as I flatten out a map on the ground, I'm taking a three-dimensional object and I'm squishing it.
What in the actual ritual?
Souls in pain. What's wrong with his eyes?
At them concerts, right? There's a lot of energy being summoned. Is that not like one of the biggest energy extracting events that they have? Does that charge them as well?
Yes, this is why they play the music at an octave vibration, which is the devil's interval. They don't play the music at a love frequency like how Michael Jackson used to do. If you ever notice now, a lot of people don't cry. They, ramp up to, low vibrational music, just like when you had NBA Youngboy and you had the YNs going crazy. It's basically a reverse of frequency. It's a negative frequency. But during the time when you had Michael Jackson, everybody was in love. They was crying. Everybody was basically harmonizing together within the congregation when he was demonstrating his music or whatever. The frequency of love basically encompasses everything. And this is why the great majority of music right now is being compromised. It has to be compromised because the somatic vibrations contain a form of magnetism that is attached to the heart chakra. That is basically the mechanism on how you manifest. You can manifest through the electrical etheric frequencies that's connected to the heart chakra in the music because it travels on 0-point energy fields. The music in itself is what cultivates a logistical emotion to where you're able to materialize. If you want to manifest something, you have to cry. You got to think about it so much to the point where you cry. The crying is the emotional energy to pull in the manifestation to the point where you believe it.
Holy shit, guys. this is getting weird. So, you know the original suspect that they arrested at the scene after Charlie Kirk was shot? This guy? Yeah, well, you obviously know that they let him go because they realized he didn't do it. Well, now they have re-arrested him. No joke. So his name is George Zinn. He's 71 years old, and we're now finding out from newly released police documents that he claimed he was the shooter to draw attention away from the real killer in hopes of becoming a, quote, martyr. He shouted twice at the scene, "I shot him, now shoot me." And after police detained him and asked him, "Where's the gun then?" he refused to tell them, obviously because he had no idea. Now, it was only when Zim was later brought to hospital where he reportedly told officers that he was, quote, glad he claimed he shot Kirk so that the real suspect could get away. Now, it gets even stranger because while in hospital, he apparently didn't want investigators to look through his phone. And when they asked him why, he apparently straight up told them that's what he uses to look at child you-know-what material. Like, first of all, who just says that? And second of all, sure enough, according to the affidavit, when they looked, they found more than 20 images of child you-know-what, along with explicit messages about certain acts. Like, what is even going on? Now, Zinn has been arrested and charged numerous times over the past 30 years, mostly for apparently political trespassing in certain spaces, according to state records. And now he faces one count of obstructing justice, and he was booked in connection with those images on his phone. Weird.
The guy that got caught, George Zinn, check out the odds of this shit, bro. Okay? The guy that was immediately arrested after the shots were fired, and he was the first suspect that they picked up.
Conspiracy theorists out there, I don't want you going crazy, but what are the odds that George Zinn, the patsy that was arrested at the Charlie Kirk assassination, also saw 9/11, he saw the planes fly into the buildings and called that in and reported it, and then he also called in a fake terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon bombing, and just so happened to get arrested at Charlie Kirk's event. So Tess Keyser, she responded to this tweet and she says, Grok, is a guy really involved in all three events like this post claims? And Grok fact checks it and goes, based on a review of multiple sources, George Zinn was a witness to the 9/11 attacks, and he described seeing planes hit the towers. He was also arrested in 2013 for emailing a bomb threat joke to the Salt Lake City Marathon shortly after the Boston bombing. He pled guilty to a terrorism charge and somehow magically only received probation. He was also detained and questioned as a person of interest at the Charlie Kirk assassination on September 10th, 2025, but released without charges relating to the shooting. Then Grok went on and made sure that it told you there is no credible evidence that supports claims of his involvement in 9/11's false flag, facilitating Kirk's death, or Mossad ties. The main suspect in Kirk's killing is now Tyler Robinson, and he is in custody. So I asked Grok to break this one down for us, and it says so. And it wouldn't give me an answer first. It said it's impossible to calculate. Well, I said use statistical probability and give me a ballpark stat on the probability of him being at all three major events. And it goes through here and it breaks it down. And we get down here to the very bottom where it combines the probability right here. Combined probability. And it says it is equal to 0.705% or 5 times 10 to the power of 8. That translates to approximately 1 in 2 billion.
Wow.
Does all of that seem normal to you?
Very strange.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
All you conspiracy theorists.
The chances are very odd.
Marco Rubio goes to Israel at this time, and they push a bill to strip passports over Israel criticism. Why? It's a little bit suspect when you're going there, and then all of a sudden it's this, and Bibi's constantly tweeting about the relationship with you, and this is when it gets a little bit too much for me, when I cannot criticize. Don't get me wrong. Remember what I said earlier. If you celebrated a person getting assassinated, you should get fired because you're not fully mentally there. By the way, if anybody here that works around me celebrates the assassination on anybody who is on the left or right, I don't want you around me.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, speaking of, I know we don't talk politics on here, and this really isn't the platform for that. Well, you saw what happened to our brother Jimmy Kimmel?
I saw that.
Wow.
I saw that. But I thought, hold on, what's the First Amendment? I thought, oh, never mind.
Listen, it depends. But do you understand how powerful that power structure is that pulls all the strings?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't want to get into it. But I just want to know.
I saw it.
Because they'll get canceled.
Whoa, hey,
them people powerful. Hey, them people powerful. Bro.
It's we headed down. Hey, we headed down a slippery slope, Ocho. We headed down a slippery slope because I remember one time that people said, and they made fun of Joe Biden, they made fun of George Floyd, they made fun of a lot of blacks that got killed, and they made a lot of fun of a lot of people that did some things, and that's free speech. Mm-hmm. That's free speech. Now it's an issue. Like you said, I look, it happened. I mean, and but it's just, boy, we in some times right now. Boy, these next, you got to be on your best behavior the next 3 years. You got to be on your best. Yeah. Kids getting kicked out of school. Getting kicked out of school. Your passport's getting redeemed and all this kind of other stuff. I'm telling you. Yeah, and some people are like, oh, that ain't nothing. And blah, boy. That's how it starts. You so distrust. What you do is that you so distrust with your institutions. That's the first and foremost thing. Now, the only truth is I'm giving it to you. The only truth that you're going to be able to get is from Ocho and I. And then you so distrust. And then I start carving away at certain freedoms that you enjoyed.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. And you know what? Some of the freedoms they carving away at, you're not really paying attention to it because it doesn't affect you just yet. But they always say history always repeats itself.
Because
it always repeats itself, and it starts very small.
Because the what they're carving away, and we're going to move on. What they're taking away, this last generation didn't have to fight for. So Ocho, let's go ahead. Ocho, when you don't have to fight for something.
Right.
But see, people, we grew up in the time, and my mom and grandmother and things, they was in that. They remember segregation, and they remember the civil rights, and they remember the Fair Housing Act, and they remember the interracial. They remember those things. We take some of this generation take it for granted. They don't remember voting rights because they've always been had to vote. So now, as they start to strip things away that you didn't have to fight for, you don't miss it until you don't have it.
Yeah. And listen, I you know what? I always love the message. I always love the fight. But people never forget. They don't understand the power structure in the ecosystem in which you're fighting against. You can't even see it, so you don't know what to swing at. You're not hearing me.
I hear you. I know.
I'm saying that no. You want to fight the fight, but you don't know what to swing at. All right, but we can go ahead. Let me grab me a bull real quick.
Now, what do you guys think of that? It's a slippery slope, right? I mean, to a point, like we're giving them a taste of their own medicine, kind of. But at the end of the day, this is the whole thing why you're in office, right? To protect our rights of freedom of speech, whether it's wrong or right. Do I agree with people up here cheering and making jokes about it? No, I don't. I would never do that as a person, as a human being, whether you're on the left or right, whether it was Joe Biden that got off or, somebody that supports him. I wouldn't sit here and cheer about it. We'd make content on it, right? Because it's happening, but I wouldn't sit up here and praise that. That's not who I am as a person. But at the end of the day, you have that right to do what you want. But we're kind of giving him a taste of his own medicine, but you're going against everything you believe in and your supporters supposedly believe in. But since it's not happening to your side, it's okay. But we got a clip of a basketball player coming up who said something that's not even bad. And he got a call from the owner of the NBA saying, take that down. And he ain't in the NBA no more. What do you guys think of this?
Jimmy Kimmel has been muzzled and taken off the air by his network ABC, who are buckling to and trying to appease the Nexstar media conglomerate, who have a lot of affiliates, and they threaten to preempt him at the suggestion of the SEC chair. This is government censorship. This is the Trump administration coming after people who speak out against him. This is the end of it. If you have any concern or belief in real freedom or the Constitution and free speech, this is it. This is the deciding moment. This is what authoritarianism looks like right now. In this country, it's happening. So if you're a free speech warrior or you really talk the talk about protecting free speech, this isn't about saying the R word or the T word or any of that. This is government censorship. This isn't fucking Twitter. This isn't people getting canceled because of a cultural pile-on. This is the United States government silencing voices that they disagree with. FCC Chair Carr put this out. This is his directive. This is the U.S. government. Look, if they can come for Kimmel, they can come for anybody. This is happening. It's time to act. Figure it out. Find a way. Come together. Push back. Because if this goes, it's over. It's over.
So I mean, it's both sides. They both do it. You know, don't say this is him. I mean, the Democrats did this for 4 whole years, probably longer, but since the pandemic and on, you say anything. You try to give knowledge. I remember back in when this was all first going on, there was a lot of things coming out of, you know, if you put pills of, you know, vegetables and fruit pills in boiling water and inhale it, it'll open up your lungs and, kind of clear it out. Couldn't say that on YouTube. The government didn't want that out. And this is just a natural remedy. I'm not telling you to take horse tranquilizer or nothing like that. This is things that are in your refrigerator that may help you out. If you're having trouble breathing or you're going through these symptoms, try this. This might help. It might not, but it might not. It's not going to kill you. Like maybe horse tranquilizer might. I'm just speaking, right? But they shut that down. That was somebody giving knowledge for free. You don't got to pay for this. You go to the store and buy 5 for $1 and come home, cut it up and put it in here and eat it. It's healthy for you. But they shut that down. So they're both doing it. It's just right now, it's the side that was so against it. Like, we can go on and on about this. What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not sticking up for him. I don't like him. But I don't believe in that. Because guess what? One of these days, these types of videos, like it is in the UK, you're not allowed to. You get arrested. That's where it's trending to.
Free Palestine. Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
Agents, people like working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you got to erase this tweet. You got to take this down. You're going to get it. I'm like, what did I do that was so bad?
Can somebody explain to me?
Yeah, can somebody explain? And it was just like because I went against the grain. I said something that people didn't like. And I, now.
Not people didn't like, they didn't like.
So now it's like, I got to stand on what I believe and how I feel and not go back on it.
Yeah.
And when you're in the league, you be in that place where if I say too much, or if I say something, I may not get a job no more.
That's that 70% of people that's out the league that got you.
I gotta hold my tongue.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These Chad Johnsons, these Shannon Sharps saying it's a slippery slope. They're controlled. They can't say what they want. Because guess what? Those sponsors that are sponsoring your show, not gonna sponsor you no more. They're gonna bash this because guess what? The sponsors are okay if you bash this. Because guess what? They support Jimmy Kimmel. But let them come out and talk about something else, like what Dwight Howard was talking about. Watch how quick they get canceled. So be careful with these celebrities, y'all. They play both. They play the side. They know what they're doing. They're gonna get on here and bash this because it's okay to get on here and bash this. You know?
Having to go to Israel? What was that like? Tell me what happened. Do you not want to talk about it?
Do it. Because I'm not saying anything that's like wrong. It's just something that happened. I get a call from Steve Byrne.
Okay.
And Steve goes, "You want to go to Israel?"
How long ago was this?
14 years ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
12, 14, I don't know. And I go, "Why? I don't want to do a show there." And he goes, "No, I got a call and they're flying out a bunch of comedians and actors and it's a free trip." And I go, "Why?" "I don't know. They just want to show us the country and their culture. And you get nice hotels, free meals, and you get a tour of like..."
Are you not performing?
No.
Nothing. Okay.
So I went there with Jamie Chung, Brian Greenberg, they're actors, and Steve Lopez went out, George Lopez.
Okay.
And we went out there, and then when we got there, they were like, "Welcome." We're like, "Thanks." And they were like, "But every day you have to tweet how great Israel is."
Every day.
Yeah, like put out a tweet.
You have to.
You have
Otherwise,
to.
you don't get your hotel.
Yeah.
Somebody is trying to kick off martial law. Somebody is trying to lock this country down. Be careful what you ingest. Some of this shit is paid actors. Everybody keeps telling me that it's real. This young lady was stabbed to death on this train. But the shit that was fucking with me, how come none of them women went over and helped her after the dude got off?
Nepal just did what every corrupt government around the world wants to do. They banned 27 social media fucking apps. And I'll tell you what, the riots, oh, they are off the chain. They are having federal buildings fucking stampeded, burned to the ground, like shit is off the fucking hook. Why would they ban social media? Oh, for hate speech and misinformation. Also known as the truth, the enemy of every corrupt government. Nepal, that's a country of 30 million people. And everybody under 40 is just freaking the fuck out, burning everything down. It's like, fuck the government. Yeah, because social media is what has unchained us from the Matrix. We are the truth. This is where the light started to come out, isn't it? You don't learn shit from the mainstream media. The only thing you go there is to see what they're lying about this week. Otherwise, you go to social media and you figure out what's really fucking going on. So if you think this has got to be the fucking start, I would bet you Canada, the UK, they will be banning social media right quick. And it's not just the news. It is freedom. It is small businesses. How many small businesses advertise through social media? I know I do. And like, that's been a huge change when I fucking started doing that shit. And that is true freedom. Self-employment and that self-responsibility is where real freedom comes from. It is not from no 9 to 5. You will never find freedom and prosperity at a 9 to 5. You work your 9 to 5 while you figure out your side hustle and what you're going to fucking be passionate and do with your life, where you can take your skills and apply them best. That is true freedom. That is the American dream. That is the worldwide dream. Like, you know? So buckle up, because I bet you they are going to, I mean, America already did it, right? They banned TikTok. You think they're not going to come for the rest of them? Yeah. No, they'll probably they like to do that slow boil of fucking frog in a pot. Don't let them fucking do it. Fuck you, you censoring motherfuckers. I hope Nepal just burns their federal government to the ground and ends up with a revolution, get their social media back. To the rest of you, good luck. Long live this beautiful republic.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. There are particular guys that I think of that I killed. And I remember one dude in particular that I killed, and like I shot his buddy, and then I came through his room. I killed him in front of his wife in a bedroom because he went for a gun. And I think about him now, and it's like, all right, why did I kill that guy? Well, because he went for a gun. Okay, but why did he go for a gun? Well, because I was in his fucking room at 2 a.m. Well, why was I in his room at 2 a.m? Well, because George fucking Bush was pissed that Saddam Hussein allegedly wanted to kill his dad, so we invaded. And then I start to think, was this guy funny? What if I met him in Paris over a coffee? Would we have actually liked each other and I just kill him because a politician sent us here for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist? The only reason we were killing each other is because we were born on different parts of the world. That's it.
Yeah. When you start seeing Ukraine and some of these things that are happening right now, like putting us in these wars that there's just no winners. And when you've been to those countries, it's like, damn, like those are real people. I watched real people there, and it doesn't feel real from the United States because we just see it on TV. But like when you've walked those streets, it just hits you different.
And that's why they send you over there when you're 17, 18 years old. Because you don't ask those questions at that age. You don't know about that at that age. You're not as wise. Your brain's not fully developed, at that age. Now, that dude's probably 40, but at 17, he wasn't thinking that. He was like, I'm gonna be the baddest mother out on this battlefield. I'm gonna show him, I'm gonna show him what America's about. But when he's 40, you start asking these questions. That's what keeps people up at night. That's when they come home and do what they do to themselves. Because these questions haunt them. He says, I think about that guy a lot. Certain guys that I offed out there, I think about them. Because at 18, you're not thinking about that. But at 40, you are.
Of basketball. James Naismith didn't create it. The origin of basketball came from the plantation. Okay? If the slave talked back, if the slave left the plantation, okay, without any slave papers, we call this free agency. In basketball, football, baseball, hockey, free agency. It doesn't matter what color you are, okay? So you were dragged back to the plantation, dragged back to the Democratic Party. And the man, his testicles were cut off. His testicles, and also he was beheaded. Okay? The testicles, this is sick, were put inside of the skull of the slave who ran from the plantation. The same process of drying the skull, but this time to testicles of a male slave who kept running from the plantation because he wanted to be a free agent, was brought back to the slave master. And the slave master's children were thrown into an apple basket. And the skull would be crushed when it hit the basket. You see, 90% of the NBA black. WNBA, 70% black. These are slaves, Brother Apollo. Multi-million-dollar slaves. They're rich, but they're not wealthy because they don't own anything. Steph Curry's rich, but he doesn't own the Golden State Warriors.
Hey, you say that's crazy that there's slaves and rich like that. They're not. How are they slaves? They're getting paid. I'm telling you guys. I remember one day I was smoking weed in my man cave at my apartment. I was watching the NBA playoffs, and I saw it. I saw it, y'all. How the cameraman goes to the owners and they're cheering, and it goes to the fans, and just the whole thing. The players complaining and the ref saying, "Get out of here!" Like, I saw it, y'all. I saw even like the white players. It doesn't just got to be the black players that with the white, all of them. I saw it, y'all. I saw it crystal clear. Tripped me out. Now I can't see it no more, but when I was high, I saw it all, y'all. I saw it all. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, a guy in Panama had a meteorite fall into his yard, and what happened next is completely bonkers. What? Tell me more. Yeah, this meteorite falls into this guy's yard. So what he decides to do is actually take off of a tiny piece of the meteorite. He puts it in a petri dish. And what happens next is it starts to grow into some sort of living thing. Oh, goody. When his first video came out, people thought it was AI. So what he decided to do was then go live and show this little living thing. Okay. Yes, this is my favorite kind of meteorite. We need more of these ones to come on down. Okay. I'm sure there'll be more updates as time goes by so we can actually see what this fully grows into. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be. Okay, then.
So President Trump is planning on turning the firmament into a firmament. And I know you're like, what am I talking about? Well, if you haven't heard, President Trump is planning on building a golden dome above the United States. You heard what I just said, right? A golden dome over the United States. Matter of fact, look at this shit. So supposedly, this golden dome is supposed to protect us from bombs and missiles. And due to the fact that we've been rubbing a lot of different countries the wrong way, we might just need this. But if you think about it, they're about to spend $175 billion to make this. And this is supposed to protect us from bombs and missiles. What if, and I'm just saying, what if it wasn't just to protect us from bombs and missiles? What if, and hear me out, this isn't just for what they're telling us it's for. Now, if you remember, a couple of videos ago, I told you that someone in the Pentagon said that the Anunnakis are coming back real soon. And if you jump down a rabbit hole on this, they're saying that this thing will be equipped with weapons, lasers, to defend us from things coming from outer space. What I will say is this: somebody knows more than what they're saying.
I was gonna say.
But in order for us to be safe, we might need that golden dome. Pay attention.
So this is Max Blumenthal talking with Tim Dillon. I think this was yesterday. That Donald Trump fears for his life is specifically because of Israel, and that during one of Netanyahu's visits this year, Secret Service discovered electronic devices in their emergency response
States
vehicles.
Does the President of the United States fear for his life?
Yes. Yes, I mean, obviously he fears for his life, and I was told that he feared for his life before the 2 assassination attempts, one coming within a millimeter of striking his head. I mean, let's not forget about that.
But I mean, just to clarify, he doesn't fear for his life because of Ireland.
I mean, I've been told, yes, that Israel is a major source of concern for Trump. I mean, think of...
Well, yeah, I mean, they are probably one of our biggest threats from a counterintelligence perspective. And I heard this from multiple former CIA officials that said Israel literally is like one of the biggest countries for stealing information from us, counterintelligence.
About it, what would happen
this is
if the
our
president
ally.
just... If he suspended arms
confused.
to... If he suspended arms to a country that carries out assassinations all across the globe, that specializes in assassinations, that has...
Yep, they have the most confirmed assassinations of anyone, any intelligence service in the world, Israel. The Mossad is like the best chat. They might even be better than us, to be honest with you. Because there is no red line for them. They will do whatever they need to do. To include stealing American technologies. We know that they've done before. Yeah, excuse me. The Mossad only answers to your boy Bibi, nobody else.
Majors.
That gives them incredible power.
Would you not be scared? So yes, Trump is scared. And what I learned from this source, who is a Trump insider, someone who talks to who talks to people in the Oval Office, people close to Trump, is that during one of Netanyahu's many visits to the U.S. this year, some figures in his retinue, Israeli agents, placed electronic devices on emergency response Secret Service vehicles.
That's crazy.
The Secret Service found them and they reported this to the White House. You know, these would be emergency response vehicles that would respond to an incident potentially involving the president.
Absolutely nuts.
So y'all know how roughly an empire lasts 250 years? Well, next year, 2026, that's when America celebrates its 250th year. There has already been speculation that Babylon is about to fall. Empire lasts 250 years, usually. And America is approaching that point in time. All great nations had their run. And then guess what? It falls. Talk about Assyria, 247 years. Persia, 208 years. Greece, 231 years. The Roman Republic, 233 years. The Roman Empire, 207 years. That's a big one. The Arab Empire, 246 years. Mamluk Empire, 267 years. The Ottoman Empire, 250 years. Spain, 250 years. Russia, Romanov Russia, 234 years. Britain, 250 years. America is approaching that. That is why it seems like America is about to fall. It's because it's already written. It's because it's a spiritual thing. It's all spiritual. Do y'all not see it? Do you not see it? Look at this list. None of them went past 250 years. Well, America might have a year left. And if it goes longer than that, that would surprise me.
My random conspiracy theory, which is real, is that this whole it takes 24 hours before you start searching for someone, before you consider them missing, is in order to help with the... They want them to get a head start. They're doing it on purpose. Because there's no valid reason. You can't teach in criminal school, hey, listen, it takes the first 24 hours is the most crucial. You have to get it done within that timeline, or your chances are pretty much like impossible. You're never going to find this person. And then in the same sentence, say, in the first 24 hours, we're not searching for you. We're going to put that as the rule. Especially if you're into true crime, you know this. What is always the issue? They always mark them as a runaway. Oh, we can't do anything for the first 12 hours. What do you mean? The first 12 hours are the most crucial. Why is that a rule? And there are also so many instances where police departments will say that only to find out legally that's not true. They just straight up don't want to. And they'll do everything to stop an investigation because either they're a part of it or they know the ones that do. They work with it. That's my conspiracy theory.
How do they experience time travel?
These autistic individuals claim to time travel. A lot of these individuals are very precognitive. They'll have experiences of something that hasn't happened yet. One of the best examples is this young woman named Elsa, who was in the telepathy tapes. She had this vision that her father slipped on ice and broke his hip and ended up in the hospital. At the time they were living in Arizona, and that didn't look like that was a very likely possibility. But then what happened is within 3 to 4 weeks, he was on a business trip and he slipped on ice and broke his hip and ended up in the hospital.
Some of you guys dab in cannabis products, some of you guys dab in wine and alcohol, and though I don't ever want to get on stream and say, hey, you should go out and do that, I would tell all kids to stay away from that, from the smoking, the drinking. Thinking clear is a great way to be. Because anytime you have inhabitants or things that could dull you and you're not where you want to be, and you're watching things on social media or you're watching other people and comparing yourself, I don't think that's the wave. I think that being driven beyond measure and putting your best foot forward until you get there, and even when you get there, the work is just starting. But a clear mind, being able to really do all the things that you want to do and accomplish it and have the stamina to do it, working out every day, you know, putting your body to the test and risk taking out here. You only get one of these lives in this vessel. You might as well try everything.
You see those AirPods and Bluetooth headphones you are probably wearing right now? They are frying your brain. And no one's going to save you from it. You don't wear headphones. You wear a microwave transmitter inches from your temporal lobe. You pump pulsed radiation into your skull for hours, daily, repeatedly. And then you wonder why you can't think straight anymore. We've seen the research, the real stuff, not that watered-down corporate safety nonsense. Oxidative stress, brain tissue breakdown, DNA fragmentation in neural cells, but they'll say it's within safe limits. Who defines safe? The same people that said cigarettes don't kill? Let me tell you, studies on rats showed visible brain damage after chronic exposure to low-level RF waves. Henry Lai proved it. The system tried to silence him. And now we're doing the same thing to ourselves, willingly. You don't feel it yet, do you? That's the trick. Brain degradation doesn't scream, it whispers. Loss of memory, brain fog, emotional instability, early dementia in your 30s, it's already happening. And still, you keep them in. Stylish, wireless, convenient, no wires, just radiation direct to your cortex. You're not listening to music. You're slowly, permanently rewiring your brain into mush. Wake up or melt quietly. Your call.
One thing I need y'all to understand is some people genuinely cannot conceptualize ideas. I learned my first year in psychology, one of the most interesting things I ever learned. There are some people who literally cannot fathom certain ideas. Like, if I say this is a water bottle, they're like, no, it's not. Now, obviously, this is too obvious of an example, but there are some people who you give them an unbiased article and they can only point out the things that confirm their mindset already, and they're physically, mentally incapable of conceptualizing ideas. It's a serious phenomenon. So before y'all get on here and argue with certain dynamics of people, think about if that dynamic of person can really understand the conversation. There are some people you cannot argue with. You can't, because they can't understand where you're coming from. It's a psychological thing. I can't remember what it's called. I learned in my freshman year in psychology. I cannot remember what it's called, but they literally cannot, they can't grasp it. They cannot understand it. No matter how much you explain it, no matter how much you break it down, no matter how much research you give them, they can only find the things that agree with their point. So don't argue with them.
They never told you it was venom. I didn't know it was venom. I looked it up. What kind of drug is this? Oh, it's a GLP-1 drug. What the hell does GLP-1 drug mean? Never heard that in my life. Holy crap, it comes from the venom of a lizard? I want to ask you, all of you at home, how many of you are convinced that you or your loved ones are overweight and diabetic because you have a Gila monster venom deficiency? And oh my God, God forgot to put enough of that damn Gila monster's venom in your body, and you ran out. Now you're fat and overweight and you're diabetic. So now you need to inject that venom inside your body every week, once a week. This is the insanity you live in. This is the deception you live in. Just because they called it Wegovy and Ozempic and said it was FDA approved, did I go, oh, it must be safe and effective. I don't know why these people's stomachs are being paralyzed and why they say they're going to develop cancer in their thyroid after a year. Really? Go look it up. I didn't know anything about this drug. It didn't even exist when I graduated school. How did I go on platforms like the Diamond and Silk Show the very next week? We bring this up and I'm educating the whole world about this drug. And then everybody's calling me, wanting on their shows to talk about, oh my God, it's another drug made by venom.
We have just witnessed the largest delegation ever of US lawmakers visiting Israel, and I almost guarantee you have not heard about it. 250 state legislators representing all 50 states arrived in Israel on Monday, and they attended an event at the foreign ministry titled 50 States, One Israel. On Tuesday, the lawmakers then took part in a ceremony where they planted 50 trees, one for each state, at one of the locations of the October 7th attacks. Netanyahu's office described it as the largest ever bipartisan delegation of American lawmakers to ever visit the Jewish state. Israel's foreign minister, Gideon Sa'ar, urged the lawmakers in attendance to pass anti-BDS laws in their states. BDS stands for Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction, and it is a movement started in 2005 by Palestinian Day, claiming that their enemies have turned to propaganda, political, legal, and economic warfare. He then said to the crowd of US lawmakers, the best answer against BDS until this day has been anti-BDS legislation by your states. But the timing of this trip couldn't be more controversial, not only because the day after they arrived, the United Nations Commission of Inquiry officially ruled for the first time that Israel are committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza, but also because on the exact same day, Israel's highly condemned ground invasion into Gaza City officially began. And the reason I said I almost guarantee you haven't heard about this is because, to my genuine surprise, literally no major media publication is covering this apart from local news in Israel. And I mean, regardless of where you stand, is the largest delegation of US lawmakers to ever visit Israel not newsworthy?
That you cannot say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said you cannot say the name Jesus.
And were you in the world this time?
Yeah, I was in the world. Yeah. This is secular music. It's not even Christian music. Not even a thought about Christian. So I'm there and I'm looking through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. I'm not even caring. I'm trying to where the dotted lines at so I can sign. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, hold on, let me just, before you sign, bro, let me just look through it real quick, bro. Bro, he like, it's like he knew where the page was or something. He was just flipping, bro. He like, stop. He was like, bro, you didn't read this? I said, read what? The thing said, you cannot say the, like literally in verbatim, it said you cannot say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said, but it said like or else. Like it's like it was like a threat in there or something. But they'll basically say like they know your family, where they live at. They know who your family is. It's stuff that's in those like dotted lines that we will not read. But it's literally them saying like in my terminology, if you say the name Jesus, you're gonna die, or something gonna happen to you.
It's like God always intervenes, bro. When it comes to you, bro, it's like
I don't even know.
Bro, that was God intervention with a normal dude who not even in Christ.
Not in Christ at all.
I know why. It's because you're pure-hearted, bro.
Literally.
Wow.
I just
the
seen
pure-hearted will see God.
Amen. Literally.
Well, they tell people you cannot say the name Jesus.
The devil took all the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood, moved us all out to New York, chasing gold statues, literally signing a contract and selling our souls. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. When we was working on this album, people used to be coming over the studio just to say Jesus as loud as they wanted to.
Do you know that Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11? Did you know that Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein were enemies? Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden were enemies. When Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait to go ahead and try to get the oil or get them to lower the prices so that he wouldn't have to compete or whatever the fuck it may be, what ended up happening was Osama offered the Mujahideen, because they had just beat the Russians in the 80s in Afghanistan, he offered the Mujahideen and said, hey, Saudi Arabian royal family, I will fight Saddam on your behalf. And then he was livid because the Saudi royal family said, oh no, we have the Americans, they'll go ahead and defend us. He's like, wait, why do we have Americans, infidels, defending Arab land? This is against the Quran, this is haram. And they were like, nah, get out of here, Saddam. And they fucking sent him to Sudan and ostracized him. And then guess what? Al-Qaeda ended up getting created. So Osama actually hated Saddam and he wanted to fight him. All a fucking lie. It was all a lie.
We just sent $100 billion of your tax money to Israel. Yep. Your tax money is helping so many people. So you telling me y'all can afford to send $100 billion of them somewhere else? And I can't even afford to live? But your tax money is hard at work for the people.
Oh my God, where are my manners, Mr. President? I've been working 60 hours a week every week for my whole life just to blow up a hospital. Good investment. Thank you so much. I can't even afford to eat a goddamn meal and you talking to me about this super shit. Why is this country so selfish? Let me tell you something. It costs $3,000 to rent a dugout. The price of food going up and wages ain't doing shit. But because keep going up, not only is the wages not going up, if I get hurt, I die. Because I can't even afford to die. And you got the nerve to call me selfish, you stupid. Like, nah, let me get this shit straight, though. So you sending hundreds of times the money it would take to fix the problems somewhere else to fund a genocide. But because that don't make me want to wrap an American flag around my chest, and I'm the one that's selfish?
Bruh. Love and respect, but if you were born after 2000, it's like some of the things that I went through, I'm like, some of the things that we bring up and we can talk about are like, they're very comfortable, but the other part is like, you just weren't around for that just yet. And that's fine. I'm not judging anybody for it. Never judge anybody for their youth or being young. Hell no, I'm not that old head. I ain't no bitter old head, you know what I'm saying? Or a bitter unk or OG, whatever it is, YOG, whatever it is. No, I'm just saying that for my generation, we gotta get our stuff together so you guys, when you guys get to your 30s and the younger generation's looking at you and be like, damn, y'all old. I can't wait for some of these 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds to be 32, 33. I'm gonna be looking at y'all and I'm gonna be 42, 43, and I'll be like, I told your ass you thought shit was a joke. Now look. Now look. Now look, you thought shit was a joke? Now look, now you're an adulting. Now you done making fun of me. Now you want to be friends with me and you want to hang out with me and shit because I'm in my 40s and you in your late 30s. So that's the shit that happens. And that's what I'm learning about what happens. Nah, see, some of y'all youngins keep thinking like, yo, nah, I'm gonna be that. Like, and I respect the youth, bro. Shout out to you, man. Youth is the most beautiful thing ever, right?
The United States ain't doing nothing for us, man. We busted our ass. We went over there to an army to kill, and 99% of us got killed, and we didn't get nothing for it. They give us a piece of paper that says to us, we're a Vietnam veteran, and we can get disability, and we can get this, and we can get a job, and we don't get our welfare. You understand?
You see, they do our veterans. I feel like so kind of wrong. Like they should come home and have like the red carpet rolled out. And of course we see the ones that are thriving, right? That have the companies, that have the coffee companies, the successful podcasts that go on podcasts, but that is like the top 1%. The majority, I mean, there's no reason I should go outside and see a homeless man holding, a veteran anything helps sign. Like, that should not happen. It shouldn't happen. But it does. That's the majority. That's the 99%. Maybe not 99. 75%.
America is Israel, and Israel is America. Israel is the 51st state of America. The Mossad is the CIA. The CIA is the Mossad. If you don't believe the extent to which these two countries have merged, then take a look at that Wailing Wall picture from this afternoon, where Marco Rubio, supposedly in Israel to read the riot act about the attack on Qatar, about which more in a minute. Huckabee, Rubio, and Netanyahu, all of them kippered up, kissing that wall again. The abasement of the United States political class to the iconography of Israel, the never-ending subvention of money and material between the United States and Israel has effectively erased any difference that there is in these two states.
Terrence Crawford, the man who just won the championship against Canelo in boxing to become the first male ever to hold undisputed championships in 3 different weight classes: light welterweight, welterweight, and now super middleweight. An interview resurfaced with him where he talks about he never sold his soul to get where he's at.
I never sold my soul to get where I'm at right now. I didn't have to put on a show to get where I'm at now. I was just myself. A lot of people, including my promoters and things like that, say, "Oh, well, you need to do this. You need to talk like this. You need to act like." I'm gonna be me, regardless.
Interesting enough, we seen him praying before he went into the ring, and after the win, he thanked God and said it was all God. Here's what I hope this encourages: different people who are out there who are willing to give their whole life to get what they want. Different people who are willing to try to sell their soul to get what they want. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? There's a profit of anything. You don't need the devil to be successful. You don't need to chase what you want to chase with a carnal mind. This individual was never given a shot. This is the true story of an underdog when it comes to boxing. This same individual was shot in the head in 2008 and he drove himself to the hospital, only for years later him to become the face of boxing. God is real, people, and more people are starting to see that.
He thanked God, but he didn't say Jesus. I wonder if that was in his contract, right? Now, what did Cat Williams say? What's the number one job of somebody in the Illuminati? To say I'm not in the Illuminati, right? Now, I'm a fan of Terrence Crawford. I don't really watch boxing like that. That was the first time I ever seen him fight was on, Saturday. I liked him. He was humble. He was all that. But I'm just saying, look at things with a microscope. You never know. Just saying. You don't become the top dog like that being yourself. Talk is cheap.
That's Rabbi Shmuley, and you said, who's this guy?
Rabbi Shmuley is dressed like this clown on the back of a U.S. senator from New Jersey called Cory Booker. Nah, they don't control our government. That's some weird shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's some weird shit. I never knew this video existed, bro. He looks like those Halloween costumes where you have like a second head on you. He's literally a grown-ass man. Rabbi on the back of a U.S. senator. I guess this is when he was probably working for AIPAC. I mean, that's what they do, don't they?
It looks like a zombie game.
That's an AIPAC
when one of them
worker.
jump on you.
Finish this.
We're 20 seconds in, by the way. On his back.
Humiliation ritual.
I mean, we can't beat him. We might as well fucking join him, I guess, huh? Just dance.
Hey, that looks like a humiliation ritual, right? Like, oh, you think you're a U.S. senator? You think you're important? Hey, get on his back while I film this. Film this, right? Get on his back. That looks like humiliation ritual to me. And these are the people that pull the strings and call the shots and make the laws that control us. That's what they do behind closed doors.
About to crush the middle class. People need to go into HVAC. They need to go into electrician work, electrical work, because AI needs so much electricity and it needs AC to keep cool to power it. Those sectors are going to boom. People have to reskill, but the middle class is going to get crushed. There's no way around it. Another reason why I came over here to Africa, because they consider it witchcraft. That it's going to hit here a lot less. It's going to be a lot less impactful when it hits here, and it's going to take a lot longer. So, you know, I want to see it being used to empower humanity instead of making us obsolete. Because the average 9-to-5 worker has a job that a robot can do. You know, we got to start to really look at the grand scheme of things if we want a chance to try to have a future for our children's children, I should say, because it's looking ugly right now.
When I left Fox, I went to MGM for one picture. Thank goodness, only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone naked before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. And so it struck me so funny, I laughed at him. And I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did you tell your mother?
Well, I went down. I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came out very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me. And Louis B. Mayer wasn't as bad as Freed was to me, but he came on to my mother. And so we both decided that we didn't like MGM much. It was, you know, it was better at Fox.
What's that?
Crazy.
Oh, a man
laughing.
that was suffering from depression for nearly 3 decades was given a chip on his brain that actually was able to tap in and turn off his depression? Tell me more! Yeah, this chip, it's not a Neuralink or anything like that. It's a different kind of chip that was put on this guy's brain, and they were able to tap in and just turn off his depression, which was crazy to him because he had never felt joy for 30 years until that moment. Oh, goody. Now, of course, this is a good thing for that person, but what makes this a little eerie is that using these kind of chips, we can get tapped into at any moment to create any emotion or anything they want to have happen. Oh, goody. Let's just make sure these chips are going to be used for the right reason. Okay, then.
This is where we're at in America, is you have senators that are on the floor of the Senate, and there's bills that are coming across the Senate floor where it's like, who should we award this military contract to? And it's like, should it go to Lockheed or should it go to Boeing? And he's like, literally like buying Lockheed and voting for Lockheed. It's like, should we award this contract? Should we award this drone contract to Lockheed Martin? Hold on, not yet. That's what he's doing. They go, all right, this next bill is, we're queuing up. This next bill is going to give $50 million in contracts awarding to drone manufacturers. We're thinking it might go to Lockheed Martin. Senators, enter your vote now. It's like, wait. Gonna buy some Lockheed Martin derivative options. Okay, go.
How in the world is this alien story possible? You want to know what it reminds me of? The Andrew Dawson story, when he was allegedly finding giants, then being tracked, then he passed away. We'll get in both sides in 1 second. Here's him driving, allegedly scared, having it in a safe because it's been growing so much. One of two things are possible. One, he did find it and he documented every single stage we've seen, which that is true. Or two, he's just making stuff up and doing a whole bunch of fancy stuff off camera. What do I think? It's very odd, all the alien stuff in the media the last few months, and then the 3-Eye Atlas that's supposed to come drop off probes on Hallows Eve, and now people are even talking about a humanoid image inside of this 3-Eye Atlas, this artificial creation flying in space. Unrelated, did someone say something about the glass ceiling? Now we've seen the whole progression, and while all the stuff I just mentioned is going on, we also have the Brazil villagers that actually showed us on their phone these light figures that they call light warriors. We have these orbs and all these weird things falling in Brazil, Peru, all Argentina. So what's the truth? Bookmark, comment, whatever. If he goes missing, we know what the truth is. Because we do know one thing is fact. Dawson's obituary was a very real thing. Don't discredit before you have all the facts.
Well, Bruce Lee was an ascended master, an Orion ascended master, who came down here to teach, and who they killed.
And he lived 33 years.
Now, of course. Okay, so you have the master numbers 11, 22, and 33.
Yes.
He had achieved 33, which would be total enlightenment.
I mean, here it is, the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. If you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. So therefore, it's not pure naturalness or unnatural.
But tell me a little bit, you set up a school in Hollywood, didn't you, for people like James Garner and Steve McQueen and the others?
Yes.
Why would they want to learn Chinese martial art? Because of a movie role?
All type of knowledge ultimately means self-knowledge. They want to learn to express themselves through some movement, be it anger, determination, or whatsoever. Therefore, he is paying me to show him in combative form the art of expressing the human body.
Which is acting, in a sense, isn't it?
Well...
Or it would be useful, too, for an actor to have.
It's... I mean, it might sound too philosophical, but it's acting or acting unacting. If you...
You've lost me.
I have, right?
We definitely need to reevaluate speed limit. They were designed for cars in the 1960s. If you took a 1960s Chevy car today to the speed limit, you'd probably be scared.
You'd be shaking.
Right? Like, you're like, oh my God, we're going 70 in this thing, you know? It's like shaking like crazy. But today, a Hyundai with 300 horsepower could do 130 on cruise control, and it's ultra safe, and it's super chill, and it's very stable.
Yeah, they need to make them, I think, 100.
I think 100 would be reasonable, even like 125, right, on some of those long stretches, because like I said, I mean, these cars today are so stable and they're so safe.
Yeah.
But with the increase in autonomous driving, there probably is going to be increase in speed, right? Because if computers are driving us, then why not just go faster? Like, they know what to do, right? You know, there's less human error in that situation.
There's no 13th floor in any hotel in America.
What?
Pay attention. There is no 13th
That's
floor.
such bullshit.
I'm serious. Google it right now. Chat, Google it.
Yeah. It's true.
They take that floor away from every hotel.
Why?
Because it's demonic. Because it's just bad luck. Tons of people have died on that floor in the 80s and 90s.
Yo, what in the conspiracy theory is this?
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
What the heck, y'all? You know, I don't remember where I saw this, but they were saying like when these celebrities, you know, people of influence get offed, that there is a place, they were saying underground, where they have everything. They have hospitals, they got roads, they got restaurants, you know, they got beaches, they got everything. That's where they go. They don't really get off, but that was crazy, y'all. That was crazy. Did he really say that? Like I said, I missed all that. I was out in San Diego. I didn't see any of the things going on. I watched YouTube a little bit while I was out there, but what's going on with all that, y'all? Let me know down below.
You know how Japan do. There's no more people. Are you serious? This is crazy. Hello? Didn't I tell y'all to reskill? Now the robots is here.
This dude's traveling.
They're already here. There she is, taking your jobs. This is all automated, you guys. All automated. Look at this.
Please check the amount and put money in the deposit slot. If you are paying by credit card, press the credit button. Please take the receipt.
Thank you.
If there are satellites up there, how did they get up there? Who put them up there? I mean, because think about it. A satellite just sits in the air, stops, it sits in the air, and it stays in that position, and it's just up. Who the fuck put them up there? So, let me guess. Y'all put niggas in them same ships. Y'all sent niggas to the moon in, right? With these big ass satellites. And then they got out floating in the air, flipping around in the middle of space. You know what I'm saying? It's just planted it there and it stayed. But meanwhile, they tell you that the astronauts stayed on the ship because in space, if they get out that motherfucker, they will be lost in space because everything keep moving. So we want to know who the fuck got up there outside the planet and placed strategically now, placed all these satellites all nice around the planet, and you get this side of the earth. You're going to get that side of who put them up there. Let us see the video. Show us y'all document everything else. Why that ain't never been documented?
Fair question.
Boring.
Welcome to the 90s, the family computer. If you wanted to go online, you had to fight for your turn. And you better be fast, or someone else will be on before you.
Welcome to the 90s. This is how you invited everyone.
You had to make them yourself.
I heard in 2025 you just press a button. That's not as personal.
Welcome to the 90s.
We had like 30 channels, and you had to find a show yourself.
I heard in 2025 the TV just tells you what to watch. Thank God we didn't have that.
Welcome to the 90s. This wasn't just music. This was a whole process. Creating the perfect mixtape, it was an art.
See, y'all don't believe shit is real unless you see it on the news. Well, look at this shit. In China, they are saying that they shot a UFO out the sky. Now, I want you to look at that. You see right there? I need you to understand what's going on right here. Look at this right here. There it is. And there it goes. Now, you got to ask yourself this. After all these years of people saying that they saw UFOs, that they saw aliens, and they downplayed it, why now? Why are these people letting us see this shit now? I tell you this, exactly what I told you before. Do not believe that they didn't know about anything that's about to happen. Everything that's about to happen, they knew about. The footage that you just saw was on the news in China. It's real convenient how there's a whole lot of crazy shit going on in 2025. 2 + 2 + 5 = 9. And you already know what the 9 means. It means an ending cycle. So what's ending? All of a sudden they're letting us know that they've been in contact with certain things. All of a sudden they're letting us know that they tried to shoot down a UFO over here, but we couldn't do it because the UFO was too fast. All of a sudden they're letting us know that a 3-eye atlas should be arriving here. All of a sudden the Pentagon is saying that the Anunnaki is supposed to be here in a couple of years or a couple of months or a couple of, you already know what it is. Whatever it is that's about to happen, trust and believe, it's not a mystery to them. They knew already. So again, you better protect your peace because shit is about to get crazy.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Woo, hour and 12 minutes to the dome, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that like button, y'all. Let's get this video to 2,000 likes. Like I say, Segovia don't ask much from y'all. I don't ask much. Hit that like button, y'all. It's good to be back. I got some weeds to pull. We got a lot of rain while I was out of here or out of town. So I got to go out there and pull some weeds. But man, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, woke up motivated, ready to get going. So we're getting going, y'all. Hope you guys are enjoying the content, but I got to get going. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. See you guys on the next one. Later.